Hi guys, it's Mishel, Deception Bytes, and there are no new Q posts. It has been 8 days. 8 days with no Q. Okay, I'm over it. But I do have some Q related stuff that I think you might be interested in, and some of it's just loosely Q related. But I wanted to discuss what's going on with Roseanne. And it's the longer this goes on and the more I'm reading things about it, the angrier it's making me. And notice here, I love this by Donald Trump. He says, Bob Iger of ABC called Valerie Jarrett to let her know that ABC does not tolerate comments like those made by Roseanne Barr. Gee, he never called President Donald J. Trump to apologize for the horrible statements made and said about me on ABC. Maybe I just didn't get the call. Yeah. And here's a tweet by Roseanne today. Now, do be careful if you're on Twitter, because people are making fake Roseanne Barr accounts, and then they're tweeting false Q posts and so forth. So just be on your guard there. The false one only has one N, and the real Roseanne has two N's in her name. So just make sure, if you are a follower of hers, that you are reading the right tweets, because some unfortunate person is using, and I say unfortunate person because I feel sorry for people like that do those types of things, in a sense, because they're right out of their minds. Anyway, she says, I'm not a racist. I never was, and I never will be. One stupid joke in a lifetime of fighting for civil rights for all minorities against network studios at the expense of my nervous system, family, wealth will never be taken from me. Now, the reason why people said that it was racist, aside from the fact that anyone that doesn't agree with the Democrats is a racist automatically. It doesn't matter if you're black and you're against the Democrats, they still call you racist. Like, it's so stupid. I've never seen the likes of it. It's absolutely stupid. And I don't know, I'm getting really sick of it, because I'll tell you one thing. When I saw this about Roseanne and about Valerie Jarrett and them making the comments because she's black and blah blah blah, and how it's so racist, I'm like, Valerie Jarrett's black? What? So I pulled up pictures of her, and I'm looking and I'm going, okay, I'm sorry, but I don't see anything there that would indicate to me that she's black. Now, it crossed my mind that she might be Hispanic or whatever, because she does have olive skin, but she's very, very light. Now, I know, that doesn't mean anything in and of itself. She could have a white mother, she could have a white father, I don't know. But I'm thinking, and I'm looking at her and I'm going, honestly, like, to look at her, I would not know that she was black. And so I'm thinking, well, if I didn't know she's black, there's probably a whole bunch of other people that didn't know as well. So I'm like, shaking my head over, like, really, I had no idea she was black. And then there was something about that kept, niggling at my mind. And then I remembered, the reason why we didn't know she was black is because she's not. She's not. She's Iranian. She was born in Iran, according to her 1977 Stanford yearbook. I am Iranian by birth and of my Islamic faith. I am also an American citizen, and I seek to help change America to be a more Islamic country. Oh, I thought she was black. She was born in Iran. She's Iranian. She's Iranian. Yeah. She's not black. And I'm sorry that, let me see, where's the picture? Okay, look at the picture here. Is the association really that far-fetched? Seriously. Like, she does look like her and this person from the Planet of the Apes. She does. And the thing is, She could have said that, Roseanne could have said that about anybody else, and somebody would have thought it was funny. But no, it's racist. It's racist. All right. Okay. If you say so. All right. So, yeah, she's Iranian. Now, look at this. Look what Keith Olbermann wrote. Now, I don't even want to. This was August 26, 2017, so not even a year ago. This is what Keith, well, is his name Olbermann? I don't even know if this is his real account, to tell you the truth. But he calls Trump racist, Nazi, bigot. Tells him to go F himself. I've got to look up now how to spell that because I'm not so sure that's his real account. Keith Olbermann. Yeah, it is that, actually. Yeah, so that is him. I just want to be sure because there's so many fake accounts going on out there, and I don't want to be accusing someone and then find I've got a fake account. So let's go take a look at here. So it's okay for Keith Olbermann, but you know, not for Roseanne. It's okay for them to roast Sarah Huckabee at the correspondence dinner. It's okay for them to roast her, saying grossly inappropriate remarks about her, calling her a liar. But yeah, nobody else can do it. I mean, you can't do it if you're a pro-Trump supporter, that is. You can't get away with any of that because, you know, it's the way it is in America now. You can say anything you want if you're a Democrat. You can say anything you want. Nobody's going to say a word to you. But if you're a Trump supporter, ooh, they will move heaven and earth to make your life a living hell. Roseanne exposes the red legacy of communist subversive Valerie Jarrett. Now the normies know. QAnon, Great Awakening. Now, you know, what this person is saying is, okay, you know, Roseanne did this, but it really, you know, it really backfired on the Democrats because, yeah, they're making Roseanne's life a living hell, but I do believe that another network is going to pick her up. I really do believe that. Another network that has a little bit more sense. But on the other hand, it's backfired on the Democrats because now everybody's, you know, she's been brought into the the mainstream media more, and people are looking into it. So, yeah, it's kind of backfiring. So Valerie Jarrett is in the news today thanks to Roseanne's tweet, which simultaneously made leftist minds explode all over the nation. Her show, which I will remind you was the #1 show in America, was promptly canceled because this tweet, wouldn't you know it, is, get ready for it, racist. Yeah. Valerie Jarrett is in the news today thanks to Roseanne's tweet, which simultaneously made leftist mind. Okay, I've just read that, but they put it again, so I read it again. So kill me. Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ. Well, she is part of the Muslim Brotherhood. And I'm sorry, but I don't think the Planet of the Apes comment had anything to do with her race. She does look like she came from Planet of the Apes. I'm sorry, but she does. I mean, anyway. And why is it racist exactly? Oh, because, wouldn't you know it, Valerie Jarrett is a woman of color. That's right. She had a great-grandfather named Robert Tyson Taylor, who himself had a white father and a black mother. Oh, her great-great-grandfather was half black. So yeah, that makes her black, right? Okay. Well, my great-great-grandfather was a full-blooded Indian, but unfortunately that's not enough to make me one. What makes Valerie Jarrett not a quadroon, not an octoroon? I don't even know what that is. So, whatever that is. So Roseanne's show got canceled because this was apparently a violation of Hollywood's moral sensibilities. And to be clear, we here at Neon Revolt do not endorse the idea that Valerie Jarrett looks anything like Zira from Planet of the Apes. Zero resemblance. Yeah, right. No resemblance whatsoever. What is Roseanne even going on about? But in all seriousness, did you have any idea Jarrett had any African blood in her at all? My guess is Roseanne didn't either. My guess is that she looked at her and thought white, vaguely Middle Eastern, and followed through in her pursuit of comedy. And isn't that what comedians do? I mean, isn't that what most of comedy is, insulting people? And the Hollywood cabal was just looking for any excuse to kick her out. Doesn't matter how much money her show was making. She had to go the second they got an excuse. They were probably already talking about ending the show because they can't be accused of giving her a platform. If that's the case, no doubt Roseanne knew and decided to lob a Molotov tweet their way. I wouldn't blame her. And don't forget, all this outrage is coming from the same people who have been calling Trump an orangutan almost non-stop for the past 3 years. That is true. Ray Beck, Trump can project and his sycophants can obstruct, but the water building up is about to burst through the dam and wash this shit-throwing orangutan and his minions back into the sewer they crawled out of. Well, but that's okay. And Trump challenge. If his presidency was a Tom Clancy or John Grisham novel, would it be called I Got the Orangutan Brief? 6 monkeys and the orange orangutan. Everybody in this photo knows Trump is not a legitimate president. Obviously did not become president through legal means. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. And here, I don't care for Trump. Back to orangutans. They really have, and it's been in a lot of the mainstream people. You know, they make fun of him and they call him an orangutan, and I've heard it myself. But that's apparently fine. It's not racist. And yes, I effing hate anything that looks like Donald the Orange Orangutan Trump. So these are just a bunch of tweets from people calling him an orangutan. Lots of people. I mean, really, just run the search yourself. You'll have to pick from literally millions of angry, disgruntled, left-a-rooney tweets at your fingertips containing these exact words. Trump, orangutan. But frankly, I believe it was purposeful because now you've got a bunch of normies talking about and trying to defend Valerie Jarrett, a woman who I can guarantee most of them knew nothing about until this very morning. Combine this with Roseanne asking for Q to contact her months ago via Twitter. She then she tweets about all the children Trump has rescued, causing leftists to lose their minds, and now this. And look at how they take the bait every single time. No, I can almost guarantee you this was purposeful and planned. And then today, I ran into this on the boards. And this is by an anon. Where does Valerie Jarrett live? Is it an unusual living arrangement? Yes, it's a very unusual living arrangement because do you know where she lives? She lives with the Obamas. Yes, with them in the same house. Yeah. Nothing strange about that. No. Does she have additional protection beyond what is normal for a retired political advisor? Who are her protectors? Who are her protectors really? Who do they report? Who do they really report to? Can she go anywhere without a detailed track record being kept? Does it matter? How does she communicate? Private email addresses while she was in government service? Yeah, she did have. Why? What was she hiding? Is it possible that these secret messages are not so secret anymore? What will they reveal? Do burner phones really give you total anonymity? Do secret Twitter accounts give you anonymity? What is her main focus now? What does she want to accomplish? Why? For who? Well, we know that she is part of the Muslim Brotherhood, and we know that I believe that she is actually Obama's handler. I've believed that for a while, and I think that evidence would suggest that. Really odd that she's living with the Obamas. Really odd. Seriously odd. Yeah. And then this person says, possible helper anon. There's only one post from this ID. I actually think it's really useful to go over all these questions. So let's do a line by line. Where does Valerie Jarrett live? In Obama's DC home. It's a big house, but we know it's husband and husband, not husband and wife, but would you want another adult living in your home as a married couple? Probably not. And certainly not if you had lots of money. There are people that they rent out a room or whatever because it's an income thing. That I understand that, but we're talking of people of means here. They don't need to be doubling up in a house to save money. Obama confidant Valerie Jarrett has moved into his Caloroma home. Obama's goal is to oust Trump from the presidency either by forcing his resignation or through his impeachment, and he'll do it with Jarrett's help, says an Obama insider. Yep. Mail online. Is it an unusual living arrangement? Well, not everyone lives with a former president plotting to oust a current president. So, that would qualify as odd. Valerie Jarrett moves into Obama's new house. Oh, and look at her lovingly looking at him. Wishing, I wish he wasn't gay. That's what she's thinking. This isn't weird at all. Not one bit. Leon Wagner, Daily Mail, Barack Obama is turning his new home in the posh Caloroma section of the nation's capital just 2 miles away from the White House. 2 miles. You probably walk 2 miles walking your dog. 2 miles is not very far. The Daily Caller. Does she have additional protection beyond what is normal for a retired political advisor? She's got a Secret Service detail, which is odd considering she was an advisor. Even the Dems question this. So, yeah. Why does she need Secret Service? Well, I don't know. Why does she need Secret Service? Former Harry Reid aide takes parting shot at Valerie Jarrett. A former top aide to Harry Reid took a parting shot at fellow Democrat and White House senior advisor Valerie Jarrett on Thursday, questioning exactly what she had been doing for the last 8 years. Ruining America. Same thing as Trump, really. Not Trump. No, definitely not Trump. As Obama. What's she been doing for the last 8 years? Well, isn't it evident? By the shape of the country? Washington Examiner. Why? The obvious answer is because she's more than just an advisor. She's Obama's handler. See, even they say it. Who are her protectors? The Secret Service. Who are her protectors really? The cult, what I call the cabal. Who do they report? Ostensibly to the Department of Homeland Security, but now with Trump in charge, that can't be happening. Who do they really report to? Probably to the Rothschilds, City of London. Can she go anywhere without a detailed track record being kept? I imagine not. No, not with the NSA watching. Does it matter? Yes. Which is why I imagine she's living with the Obamas now. People can come and go into the Obamas' home, talk directly, and have it look like they're just visiting the Obamas. How does she communicate? Q has confirmed that she's tried to use private emails and secret Twitter handles as well as burner phones. Private email addresses while she was in government service? Probably the secret Gmail account Q disclosed. Why? To hide her activities. What was she hiding? Active subversive treason by coordinating with the Muslim Brotherhood / Awans / Huma. Is it possible that these secret messages are not so secret anymore? Very possible, and I certainly hope so. What will they reveal? The 16-year plan, coordination with the Muslim Brotherhood internationally and MS-13. Do burner phones really give you total anonymity? Nope, absolutely not. Do secret Twitter accounts give you anonymity? Nope. What is her main focus now? What does she want to accomplish? Her main focus is taking down Trump. Why? To put the cabal back in the seat of power. For who? The most interesting question of the bunch. Obama's not going back in that seat. Hillary could be a potential candidate, but with her health issues, I think everyone knows she's on her way out. Kerry floated the idea of he himself becoming president. So who are they trying to raise up next? It's helpful here to review all of Q's previous posts about VJ, put together this handy infographic linking the various ideas from post to post. And I don't know, let me see if I can get this bigger. Still not easy to read. And I'm sorry, but I can't read this. It's eeny writing. So anyway, let me get this back down to a normal size. Okay. All right. And what's most stunning to me, even rereading this now, is the 2004 bit from Q's post. Again, reread. Red Cross, Iran. Red Cross, Pakistan. Red Cross, North Korea. Red Cross, ... Define smuggle. What is smuggled? What funds are used to pay for the goods? These people are sick. Relevant to events about to unfold. Follow the EOs, which is executive orders, Q. And then below it, Q is responding to this post above, of his own, and he says, when was Osama bin Laden killed in Pakistan? May 2nd, 2011. Where was Osama bin Laden located? Close proximity to? Think logically. When did Awans, I'm not sure how you pronounce that last name to tell you the truth, mission op go green? 2004. Follow the timeline. What happened during this time with Huma, Valerie Jarrett, A1 plus 3? And follow the timeline. Secretary of State, who is protected? Aid cut off in 2010. Coincidence? What happened in 2011? Define exchange. Sick yet? When did the Awan's mission op go green? 2004. What happened during this time? Her LinkedIn page is a good place to start. Excuse me. Valerie B. Jarrett is Senior Advisor and Assistant to the President for Intergovernmental Affairs and Public Engagement, blah, blah, blah. Let's go down to here that's highlighted because I don't want to read all that. From 1995 to 2003, Jarrett served as chairman of the Chicago Transit Board. Jarrett also served as chairman of the board of the Chicago Stock Exchange from April 2004 through April 2007. She was a director of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago from January 2006 through April 2007. Jarrett served as finance chair for President Obama's 2004 run for the U.S. Senate. Whoops. Oh, look, she was chairman of the board for the Chicago Stock Exchange. What a coincidence. She also happened to be serving as finance chair for President Obama's run for the U.S. Senate in 2004, before he was president. And it's important to note here that Obama didn't really hire Jarrett, which is what you would normally do. No. Remember, both Hussein and Mishel were up-and-coming lawyers before their political careers. Yes, by the time Obama was running for office, I'm sure they were paying Jarrett. But it's important to remember that they were hired by Jarrett first in 1991 when she was working for the Chicago's mayor's office. By 1995, she was CEO of the Habitat Company, a company which basically ran housing subsidized by the city of Chicago. Yeah. She was their machine. While Jarrett was CEO of the Habitat Company, which managed Grove Park Plaza from 2001 to 2012, and also co-managed a Chicago subsidized complex that was seized by feds in 2006 after city inspectors found widespread problems. Feds graded the condition of the complex an 11 on a 100-point scale, a score so bad the building faced demolition. Officials at Woodlawn Preservation say the government, Valerie, didn't give them enough money to properly maintain Grove Park. Jarrett's Habitat Company declined to comment on Grove Park in particular, but said it is hard to manage something you don't own. She was under consideration to take over Barack Obama's vacated seat, but that got too scandalous for her to be associated with. Jarrett had the whole city of Chicago under her control by the time she was chosen to be in the White House as Obama's closest cabinet member. Sounds like a lovely place, right? A real communist utopia. Funny how that always seems to happen, but perhaps more importantly, Valerie Jarrett's communist father-in-law, Vernon Jarrett, died in 2004. Judicial Watch secured a 57-page FBI file on Vernon Jarrett. So, I'm not going to read this, but apparently, subject presently resides 53 East 46th Street, Chicago, and is associate editor for the Chicago Globe, pressman for a group of Negro cab operators on south side of Chicago, scriptwriter for Oscar Brown Jr., a nominal salesman for Laundrum Realty Company, reportedly born 6/19/18 and served in Navy during World War II, graduate of Knoxville College, Knoxville, Tennessee, reportedly a CP member from the Communist Party, member from 1946 through 1948, a member of the Professional Club, CP, several years ago, and believed to still presently a member of the CP. Reportedly fired from the Chicago Defender in 1948 because of communist activities, active in AYD in 1946 and 1947, being on the National Council in 1947, reported to be award chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Progressive Citizens of America in 1948, reported active in Progressive Party in 1948 and on mailing list of the American Committee for the Protection of Foreign Born in 1948, subject's wife believed to be presently a member of the Communist Party. Description of subject set forth. So, there we go. For a period of time, Vernon Jarrett appeared on the FBI Security Index and was considered a potential communist saboteur who was to be arrested in the event of a conflict with the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. His FBI file reveals that he was assigned to write propaganda for a Communist Party front group in Chicago that would disseminate the Communist Party line among the middle class. And that's just her father. The FBI also investigated her grandfather and father for communist activities. We already know from previous Q drops that the fall of the Soviet Union was a fake out, that they went full on subversive during Glasnost. So basically, Vernon Jarrett was a commie subversive for years and raised his daughter to be one as well. So when he died in 2004, did a passing of the proverbial torch occur? Did she come into her full inheritance of her red legacy then? Nothing surprises me anymore. Jarrett's gone from stock exchanges to Federal Reserve banks, aka she's a Rothschild puppet, to Senate and presidential campaigns, to living in Obama's spare room trying to take down President Trump. private comms will prove she's colluded with the likes of the Muslim Brotherhood and MS-13 trying to plot and coordinate the destruction of America. And tons of normies who have never even heard of this woman are now trying to defend her on Twitter. But I want you to understand that this implies that the 16-year plan to destroy America has been in the works for a very, very long time, and they are desperately trying to get their timeline back. The 16-year countdown started with Obama. 2004 was 4 years before he was elected, and he had to be groomed for this life long before then. Just appreciate for a moment the amount of work and the amount of time the cabal and our enemies put into reaching this diabolical goal. Decades have gone into them plotting our utter destruction and enslavement, but it's not going to happen. Timeline denied. Do me a favor and red pill your normie friends with this article, especially those who may be trying to defend communist subversive Jarrett today. Rattle their cages a bit. Help them awaken. It'll be fun. I promise. So that's, Valerie Jarrett. Fine, upstanding citizen she is. Not. I mean, you got to admit, look at this. You've got to admit. All right, I'll leave it now. And I found this meme and I thought that it was cute. Why'd they change our show, Rosie? Because I was telling the truth again, Dan. Yep. And I thought this was funny. I found this. One, black people don't look like apes, but George W. Bush does. I didn't know Valerie Jarrett was black. Number 3, Valerie Jarrett is a dead ringer for Helen Bonham Carter in Planet of the Apes. Would you still call me a racist? Probably. And then there was this article that I thought was interesting, shows the double standard. QAnon Nazis argue that they aren't Nazis by threatening to gas me. Yeah. So this person says, 2 days ago, I published an article connecting an anonymous Trump-Russia conspiracy theory known as QAnon to the far right. Nazi anti-Semitic individuals who pollute the internet on sites such as 4chan and 8chan. The theory started in October of last year after an individual or group of individuals going by the name of Q anonymously began acting as if they were a whistleblower stating that Trump and his campaign are not actually the target of the Mueller probe. They instead argue that it's Clinton, Obama, Lynch, Abedin, and other Democrats who are the targets. The whole purpose of my article was to bring light to the fact that genuine whistleblowers typically don't seek out the vilest, most disgusting niches within the internet to do their whistleblowing, and that's one of the areas, and that one of these areas is ripe with hate, bigotry, anti-Semitism, and Nazi sympathizers. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Hill reporter, where else was he supposed to go? You really think anyone in the mainstream media, look at what they're doing. You think anyone in the mainstream media would have, provided a platform for him? I don't think so. So he went to the only place he could. And, there's all sorts of people in there. There's Nazi sympathizers, there's anti-Semites, there's all sorts of people. Just like there's all sorts of people when you go to the grocery store, but you don't stop going to the grocery store, do you? Anyway, I began to get feedback from readers telling me that QAnon is unrelated to these disgusting conglomerates of individuals on the internet, and that QAnon warned them that people like me would be trying to bring them down. And, the thing is, a lot of those people that post all that Nazi crap on 8chan, they're paid trolls. They do that on purpose. So then they can say, oh, look at the type of people that go there. Told you Trump was racist. Told you he was a Nazi. Told you he's a white supremacist. Yeah, that's what they do. So, and I guess when he was posting, some anonymous person posted a Nazi flag and said, Jew LARPer detected, fire up the ovens. Okay, right. That's not appropriate. It's not at all appropriate. And I'm not defending this person, but how do we know that this person, you know, just because they're on 8chan doesn't mean that they're Q followers. There's all sorts of people in there poking fun at Q and doing all sorts of stuff and posting all this, oh, crap, like this. And it is crap. But, of course, this person blames it on, the Trump supporters, certainly. Clearly, this article struck a nerve among Nazi sympathizers who claim not to be Nazi sympathizers of 4chan's poll thread. In fact, it got many of them so angry that I would call them such that they began doing exactly what any bad Nazi sympathizer would do. Gassam, wrote one sick individual in a thread that tries to trash my name and dox me. Another anonymous 4chan member with the username Hitler himself posted a list of names he believes to be associated with me, my family, and past employers, along with the comment, "And when I'm finished, I'm coming after your Parkland comrades. Are we clear? Let your effing boss know." So, I think Krasenstein made this announcement in order to make it look like Q is encountering stiff opposition from the kikes. Another anti-Semitic QAnon believer wrote, another hateful bigot decided to chime in. For those who don't know, Brian Krasenstein is a Jew. Well, I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's really ridiculous. And you know what? Yeah, there are a bunch of people on 8chan that are against Jews, against whatever. There are Nazi sympathizers there, but there's, that doesn't mean that, what are you going to do? Like, you see someone that's a known white supremacist that visits your favorite grocery store and you say, "Oh, I'm never going back in there. They're supporting it." No, no, they're not. I mean, it's so ludicrous, but anyway, we live in a ludicrous world, and it's getting a little more and more loony all the time. So let me see here. I think I had some other little nuggets. Oh yes, I thought this was very interesting, and I was thinking the same thing. So when I saw this tweet, I just clipped it out because it said, "What is going on in the world other than the Roseanne tweet? Boycott ABC, done. Boycott Netflix, done. This isn't new. We know how these evil people work. While we're distracted by this, there is something deeper lurking in the shadows. Roseanne is leaving Twitter. We are not. QAnon." But, well, this is not from Q, but the hashtag QAnon. And it's true. What is this distracting us from? Is there something that they're not wanting us to see? Because everybody's talking about Roseanne. Everybody. Now, you tell me why Roseanne is fired, and yet The View says nothing to Whoopi. And look at the shirt she's wearing. Here, let me make it bigger for you. And she's wearing this out in public where children can see it. Very, very inappropriate. Oh, it went all the way back up to the top. Look. Make America Great Again. And she has a picture of President Trump blowing his brains out. And there's a little piece of his skull over here and his hair. I mean, it's disgusting. Oh, but she thinks it's hilarious. Look at her. She's proud of it. She's proud of that shirt. Yeah. I didn't like Obama. I didn't like his politics. I don't care what color he is. I didn't like his politics. But I never for one moment wished him dead or wished harm to come to him. I want him to be held accountable for his crimes. Absolutely. But I don't wish harm to him. What kind of a person? I don't understand that. Okay, so she vehemently disagrees with President Trump. I get it. I understand, because I felt that way about Obama. But when does it cross over into, I really hope he would kill himself because that will make America great again? Yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Why is this not racist? Why isn't it? It's a black person wishing a white person would kill himself. Why is that not racist? Because apparently only white people can be racist. Which is not true, because I know when I moved to Louisiana, and a large black population there, and trying to make friends was very difficult, because there were people that I'd never ever experienced reverse racism. I didn't even know it existed. And of course, coming from Canada, I had a whole different view on all that. I really, honestly, I know this makes me sound extremely naive, but when I moved to the States all those years ago, I honestly did not realize that racism was a problem, because I'd never encountered it. I'd never encountered anybody talking about another race in a degrading way. Now, you might not believe that, and that's fine if you don't, but it's the truth. I never had. And then I moved to the South. But when I moved to Louisiana and the South, and when I moved to North Carolina, it was fine. I was able to make friends of both white and black friends I had. But when I moved to Louisiana, yeah. So anyway, I don't understand why she's not called out for that. But so it is. Breaking sources report Fox will agree to a deal to run the next series of the Real Roseanne show within 3 months after ABC cancels the sitcom. So I think this is real news. I don't know though. I found this on Twitter. I guess time will tell. I hope it's true. I hope it's real news. And Reuters Business, just in, Walt Disney shares down 2.5% after ABC cancels Roseanne's show. Well, stockholders aren't going to be happy about that, are they? I wouldn't be. Of course, I would never buy stock in Disney, but that's just me. Now, Jacob Wall. Why has Bill Maher not been fired? He called Trump a legitimate ape. Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay, because Trump is obviously white. So you can compare him to an ape. And I thought Valerie Jarrett was either white or possibly Hispanic. I didn't know. But I knew that she had, I knew she was Muslim, but I didn't know her nationality. And I don't think other people know. But anyway, I'll get off that. Leftist, anti-Trumper, and lesbian comedian Wanda Sykes was the head writer of The Roseanne Show. Wanda knew about Roseanne's past post about Hitler and cookies, yet agreed to write for the show anyway. You don't see any leftist outrage against Sykes. Well, that's a good point, isn't it? And here's Wanda Sykes, and she's responding to Maxine Waters. You've probably seen this, where she says, "I do not yield, not 1 second to you, not 1 second." Representative Maxine Waters will never stop reclaiming her time. And because she just kept interrupting and saying, "I'm reclaiming my time, I'm reclaiming my time." Yeah, she knew Roseanne's past posts, but she wrote for the show anyway. So why aren't people calling her out on that? And here's a post by Wanda Sykes. Every effing time he opens his mouth, some shit flies out of it. Now, we're going to change subjects here because I know that I'm probably going to get myself in trouble already for the things that I've said. I'm going to get all sorts of nasty comments. I've got thick skin. Well, for the most part. Now, I found this fascinating. Okay, today is the 65th anniversary of Sir Edmund Hillary climbing Mount Everest. Yet, Hillary Rodham Clinton claimed she was named after him due to his incredible feat. So, how does that happen? Why would Hillary Rodham Clinton's parents wait for 5 years, 7 months, and 3 days to name her after him? That's a good question. So, she's claiming that she's named after him due to his incredible feat, and he didn't climb Mount Everest until 5 years, 7 months, and 3 days after she was born. Yep. Okay, and here's another. Body count grows. FBI official who exposed Clinton's Fast and Furious cover-up, David Rayner, was murdered the day before his testimony to a U.S. grand jury about the high-level cover-up of Operation Fast and Furious. Now, I'm not going to go and read that, but I just thought that you could add another notch there for another body down. I would like to know how many this makes. Wonder if anybody actually even knows how many there are, because there's probably a whole lot we don't even know about. I'm sipping me a nice cold latte. All right. Now, this is important, and I want us to be aware of this. Okay. This person, okay, look, I'll just read this first. Urgent. The Washington, D.C. Cardinal is planning a massive terrorist attack. We have notified the authorities already. This cardinal is part of Team QAnon and, as usual, wants to detract from Trump's crime by planning a huge false flag. Thanks to some decoding, we figured it out. So, someone is going around and they are tweeting stuff like this, that there's going to be a false flag attack and it's part of the QAnon team that's going to do it, and they're doing it to detract from Trump's so-called crimes. So, number one, I think we need to be on the lookout for a false flag. And number two, I think that we can just about guarantee who it is that's going to do it. And it sure isn't going to be QAnon. So it's pretty sick and disgusting. I don't know, every day I'm like gobsmacked, really, because I just cannot believe the things that are going on, and I can't believe that people just jump on and start just this Roseanne thing. It's like everybody jumps on top or jumps on the bandwagon. Okay, all right, she probably shouldn't have said that, but it's no worse than everything else that's being said about the president, about anybody, any of his supporters. I mean, but there's clearly a double standard. Clearly. And look at this. Disgusting. CNN analyst tweets article suggesting Trump could be running child sex trafficking ring. And you know something? They are experts at doing that. They accuse others of what they're doing themselves. I saw this myself when I had my brush in with the New World Order. That's exactly what they do. They will accuse you of doing exactly what they're doing, knowing full well you're innocent. It's what they do. It's one of their favorite tricks. CNN analyst tweets article suggesting Trump could be running child sex trafficking ring. And, you know, I'm not going to go to this because we've pretty much, flogged this dead horse to death. Wait, can you flog a dead horse to death? Probably not. We've flogged this dead horse to life, maybe. I don't know. That doesn't sound right either. All right. Well, I'm getting silly. And so that's all I have for tonight. I mean, there's lots of other stuff happening, but I just wanted to bring you a few things that I thought you might be interested in. And I will keep my eyes out, but not literally because I need them in. But I'll keep a lookout for Q posts, and I will get right on them. So, well, not literally right on them, but I will cover them with a coat or something. All right, I'll talk to you guys later, and have a wonderful night and stay safe.